Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and patch 10.2 is filled with content, from new seasonal content that begins next week, to an entire new zone filled with cosmetics, rares, and so many different world events and activities. And while I'm definitely enjoying some of the newest class changes, whether we talk about the revamps for rogues or demon hunters, the one class that's getting the most amount of benefits and the most amount of content in this update are the Druids, as they should, since we are within the Emerald Dream, which is practically their domain. The Guardians of the Dream update has added a ton of new Druid forms for you to customize and shapeshift into, from various new cat forms, a variety of different bear forms, ton of new travel forms, and even aquatic forms. There's so many new forms to collect and a variety of different ways at how you unlock them. Some can be obtained from slaying rares and even world bosses, while others have long quest chains that take you all throughout Azeroth. And recently, with some help, I've been able to get my hands on some of these animal shapes, and been able to discover how you unlock all of these different animal forms for the patch 10.2. So I thought it might be a good idea to put a little guide together in case you were interested in playing a Druid for the patch 10.2. But right before we get into this Druid form guide video, most of you guys watching these are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. First of all, let's go over some of the animal forms that you'll be able to purchase from vendors. On a small island off of the side of Eye of Ysera, there's a fauna specialist who sells silent marks, and each of these silent marks is going to set you back by 500 gold. He has a silent mark for the Dreamsaber, the Dreamtalon, an Umbra Claw, and a Dreamstag. Once you purchase one of these silent marks, all you have to do is attune to that animal shape. You'll find a variety of these animal types all throughout the Emerald Dream, and once you find some animals associated with that mark, all you have to do is use the mark on them until you eventually attune and then get the Druid shapeshift form. It may take you a little bit of time before you can finally get attuned, but simply keep going at it until you eventually get access to those animal forms. Another vendor worth mentioning is Talisa Whisperbloom, who can be found very close by in the Emerald Dream main player hub. Talisa sells a variety of armor cosmetics, but also sells 3 animal shapes, one for the Snowy Umbral Claw, one for the Boreal Dreamtalon, and the Auroral Dreamtalon. And you can purchase these animal shapes with a Seed Bloom, which is awarded by Talia Whisperbloom when you complete her weekly quest where you plant 5 dream seeds inside of the Emerald Dream. However, all of these animal shapes can also drop whenever you plant a gigantic dream seed, which gives you a chance to get some of these shapes with a bit of RNG, but if luck is not on your side, at least you'll have some form of a bad luck protection when you purchase them with seed blooms instead. Now let's talk about some of the animal shapes not mentioned on the vendors, starting with the bears. The first one is the Rune Bear form, which looks fantastic, though this one can only be obtained from the newest world boss Aurostar, which will become available once Season 3 officially launches next week. So with this one, you'll just need a little bit of patience until then. Next, we have the Bristlebruin Bear forms. First is the Verdant Bristlebruin animal shape, which you have a chance of obtaining by defeating Morag the Slothful, a rare found inside of a hollow cave east of the Whirling Basin. Then we have the pollen-fused Bristlebruin form, which is quite easy to obtain. All you need is a pollen-fused fur sample, which is found south of Eye of Ysera near the Druids of the Flame encampment. Then we have the dark Umbra Claw bear form, which has a chance to drop from a rare Mosa Umbramain found inside of a cave southwest of Eye of Ysera. Next, let's go over some of the Dreamsabers that you can obtain, starting with the Moon-blessed Dreamsaber. This Dreamsaber form is obtained by completing the Moonwell puzzle, which will have you visit almost every major continent of Azeroth. First, head back to Eye of Ysera to pick up a box of files. These files need to be filled from Moonwells found all over Azeroth. The first of which you can find in the Eastern Kingdoms in Duskwood, where you want to use the file E. The next one can be found if you visit Moonglade in Kalimdor and then use the file K. Afterwards, you want to head out to Outland, which can be reached easiest by going to a portal in Shatrath from Orgrimmar or Stormwind. Then head over to the Cenarian Thicket and use the Vial O at that Moonwell. Afterwards, you want to head to Northrend, specifically go to the Wrath Dalaran portal in Orgrimmar Stormwind, then fly all the way to Dragonflight to Star's Rest flight path, and then you want to use the vial marked as N. Afterwards, you want to head over to Warlords of Draenor zones, specifically within the Shadowmoon Valley, to a moonwell near the Alliance garrison and use the vial D. Finally, you want to head to the Legion's Broken Shore. You can either reach it by going back to your Druid or the Hall if you played back in Legion, or take a portal to Azuna from Stormwind or Orgrimmar. Then you head to the zone of Val Shara to find a moonwell and then use the vial B. And after you've collected all of the waters within the vials, you want to head back to the Emerald Dream, then combine all of the vials together to create a coalesced moonlight. You'll want to find a feral dreamstone within the Emerald Dream, and then you want to use that moonlight, and then from there you can loot the animal shape. Next we have the purple Dreamsaber animal form, which has a chance to drop from the rare Keen-Eyed Cane, found prowling around near the Fire Druid outpost. Next we have the Dreamtalons, which are kind of like a mix of a raptor and a cat thing put together, starting with the Sable Dreamtalon, which can drop from a rare Ristar the Rabbit, which can be found northwest of Lush Dream Crags. Then we have the Dreamtalon Matriarch form, which can drop from Matriarch Kiva, which can be found in a cave east of the Whirling Basin. Next we have some of the new Glade Hearts, which are a form of a stag. Starting with the Auric Dreamstag, you will need to loot an inscription recipe from one of the plump dream seeds, specifically one that lets you unlock the Dreamstag through the inscription profession. Another Dreamstag you can collect is the Smoldering Dreamstag form, which has a chance to drop from the Ash Whisper rare, which can spawn in a variety of various locations throughout the Emerald Dream. Next we have a few new Owl flying forms, starting with the Blazing Somnowl. This owl form actually drops from Mythic Farak, but you first gotta defeat the boss on the hardest difficulty. But if a Druid player does loot the mount, they also get the animal form for free. There's your Somnowl form, however, is much easier to obtain in comparison. All you have to do is do the full entire Kwanzo Quarry questline, which you can get from Cenarius in the main player hub of the Emerald Dream. Another flying form you can obtain is one of a Slumbering Somnowl. For this though, you need to hibernate 5 Somnowls anywhere within the Emerald Dream and then interact with them to obtain 5 Somnowl feathers. You'll want to combine these feathers together with 1 silken thread, which you can purchase on the auction house to make a feather strand. And then you want to combine a feather strand with a ruined writhe bark, which you can also obtain on the auction house to finally obtain the flying appearance. And lastly, we have a new aquatic form, that of a koi fish, which you will need to do once the Emergency raid is open. And once the raid is fully accessible, you want to fish up 10 awakening sunfish within the lava pools in the pit of Volcaros. Then you want to fish up 10 slumbering moonfish in the waters of the wellspring atrium. Then you want to throw these fish into the waters of Emergency to receive a buff of the sunfish and the moonfish essence. And once all of the fish are released, you'll be granted with a buff of Attuned Angler. Afterwards, you want to go back to the beginning of the raid and look out for prismatic whiskerfish pools. And you want to keep fishing there until you get Xena, the whimsical whiskerfish. You want to let the fish go back into the waters, and that is how you unlock your koi fish aquatic form. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.